All right, good evening, guys. Ken of Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for July 17th, 2024. Had a great 2 hour uh, hypnotherapy session today with Sunal. Made major breakthroughs and looking forward to that continued collaboration. We use this model as establishing the baseline of the work that I wanted to do with her. And we then explore different aspects of uh, issues that I wanted to explore, and she just does a great job. Strongly recommended as a coach and as a hypnotherapist and as a trader. She's just excellent in every way. All right, let's jump to the sniper trades of the day. Um, these are all on 10-minute bars. So pen. There it is. So this one is DIA on 10 minutes. This is yesterday's close. Here was the gap down. This little move straight up allowed an entry on the 3 minutes. That was okay. The 10-minute came back and closed here. So that establishes the OR10. The next one opens, sells off, closes here. The next bar opens here, moves here, and then breaks out. So that's where I get long, right here. That's the standard risk. The first trade scratches. Caught a 2 re-entry when it leaves the dragon again. That one gives us about 1R. And there we are for the rest of the day. So about 1R. Next one up. This is EWW, Mexico. This one is also on 10-minute. Here's yesterday's close. Here is the gap open, and it drops like a stone. That was actually tradable on the 3 minutes. It then recovered all the way back up to here and closed. That establishes this as the OR10. It then breaks out from that, so I get long with the standard risk box, which also scratches. It then reverses below the VWAP, so I get short with a standard risk. When the R10 reverses up right here, I end up taking that exit. We cash that much of a win. That's about 0.5. This one was a scratch. There's your SSC entry. Scratches. So not much happening in EWW. It was that opening move was tradable on the 3 minutes. On the 10 minutes, it was just too choppy. So that gets about 0.5. This one is EWZ. This is Brazil. 10-minute. Here's the close. Here's the gap down opening. So we know this one was in play. You could legitimately put an R5 or an R10 box on that, and you would have ended up getting long right about here. Instead of waiting for the OR10 like I did, and then getting long here, you could have gotten long here on a standard large gap opening. Which, and my entry scratched, the other one would have given you about 2R. That's a cotta 2 reentry for half an R. A cotta 2 short reversal, which pays about a half an R. And that's about it for the day. So that's about 1R total. And again, the 3-minute was appropriate on that one because of the size of that initial gap. This one's an old reliable Walmart. Here's yesterday's close. It was an orderly opening, so I bracket it with the OR10. What I get is a 1, 2, 3 entry for half an R, cotta 2 re-entry, 1R, and that's about it for the day. So a relatively quiet day in the market today, but the usual suspects did fairly well. We stayed in the money all day. Let's see, we got the traders here. Here's this is Brian, and he's trading the British pound US dollar on the 5-minute. Got a problem not being able to take this trade. He watched the entire rally on the chart without an entry rule to get in long. Well, here's your Z3 pinch, and that's a full standard risk box off of the close. So you can get long there. You can get long on this reverse, on that continuation, on that emerging dragon breakout. After this continuation, you can get long here on a cotta 2. So there are entries all along the way. When you have such a long sideways chop like this, what I'm looking at it this way. So if you have the last move was like this, and everything is chopping around like that, I like to draw that box, draw the midpoint, and then I'm ready to, if it doesn't get, it did not gap here, so I'll just take the top of that box here and the bottom of that box here, and I'm ready to play. If it breaks below here, I'm ready to go short, and I'll take half of the box as my risk. But if it breaks out to the upside, I'll also take that red line in the middle of the box as my risk. And you can size that. You'll normally see that's usually about an R10. If you want to play the wider stop, like getting long from here and then using the reversal, then that's about an R5. But I would rather just split this difference, play the breakout, smaller risk, and then just work on getting my risk above my entry as soon as I can, and then it's a science project. And that one, on that kind of a move here, you'd end up getting long about here with an initial stop there, which makes this your risk box. And then you end up getting about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6R on that one. Now he does get this one for 0.4R. So nothing to sneeze at, but that's the way you play that one, Brian. In the same way that this is setting up for tomorrow, you just bisect that, and then you get short below 1,299.50, or you get long above here, and then you use this midpoint as your stop. So you're going to have a stop about that size, which is about the size of the box that you're working on anyway. So you bracket, you use the midpoint of that line and you play the breakout. He gets 2.2 in gold. That's so if you use that same logic here, that's exactly what you did there. So you know how to get into that. If you do this, midpoint, breakout, there's ways to play that. So 2.6 for the day. Pretty good day at work. Getting paid to learn. This is Jonathan. Has a this was the opening. This is the OR3. He didn't take that one because he was already trading EWW. But if he had taken the OR3, span of control issue, then he gets long here instead of long there. So he gets this, and then the COTA 2, essentially a re-entry, and then he exits properly here for 0.21. As it crosses the VWAP, he gets short, and then a 1, 2, 3 exit for 1.98, total of 2.2. Pretty good day at work. He suffers in DIA here. This is a good trade to get paid. The COTA 2, I think, was slow, but that's a good exit. There's a re-entry here, which probably ends up being a micro. This one, I want you to notice the PSAR comes to here. This is where the R10 crosses that, and where price is leaving the dragon and breaking the PSAR. That's where you get short rather than here. And then you end up scratching rather than losing 0.1. And then you have these higher lows. There's when this goes from red to yellow and crosses the Bollinger Band mean, somewhere in here there's an entry. And then when it turns to green, there's an entry. And now you can see you've got this long sloping Bollinger Band mean right here. And that entry there is already on the correct side. It jumped over. It's on the correct side of the Bollinger Band mean. So I like this entry. I love this entry. And I love that move and exiting somewhere around in here. Still, positive day at work. EWW, he gets a fractional loss and then stays with the other ones. Sadly, you know, the 1, 2, 3 entry is here, and you get this trade to here. I probably take this one or this one short, and then probably exit right here for a micro. And then when this gets sideways choppy and you have a downward pressure on the Bollinger Band mean and it goes below the VWAP, that's a great short. Better than this one. Here's your Z3 pinch. So that's a great exit or great entry. He waits for the Z3P, micro loss. No worries. Total of 1R for Chi Wang on the perfectly played. There wasn't much more available on DIA. And both good, reasonable shots, minus 0.76, so positive for the day. That's still good work, and you're holding on to the gains from the last couple days. So that's on days where price is not aligned, you're not losing. And on days where it is aligned with your technique, you're getting massive gains. So that's a pretty good posture to be in. All right, let's take a look at the daily reports. All-time high yesterday So today we're rolling over. God dang it. Today we rolled over and closed here. We're very close to protecting. We want to protect that move, and my thought is 552. I'm not going to let it get lower than 552. I'm willing to give back that much, but I don't want to give back any of that. So I think we're 552 in my view is the key. We'll see that when we zoom in a little bit on this next chart. On the daily report now, 552. You can't be any lower than that. I could even live with 554 or 555. Like, I don't want to let it go from 565 more than 2% down past the 5-day low. No reason to let it go lower than that. I want to preserve. This was a long, hard grind. I don't want to start believing in it more now. So I'm going to respect the 5-day low. Let's call that 556. I'm ready to protect that move going into Thursday. Dashboard one, bullish normal. Today's little rollover made things a little bit weaker. Volatility is starting to threaten a little bit. The Qs are giving buy on dip. That's tech. And you've got some tech names that gave back the most, NVIDIA, Intel, and Microsoft. Those would be natural candidates for a swing opportunity. If you see tech start to get strong tomorrow, those are the three names that I would concentrate on. Big wins in the Dow 30 tacticals, a lot of the non-tech names. You can read it as good as I can. Microsoft and NVIDIA are the only ones that test out well on the auto framer. So what does that mean? That means the market did this and had a micro pullback, but technology, which had been leading the way north, sold off hard. So now if technology is going to resume its leadership, it has a lot of room to play catch up. So that's why you get 4-1 and 3-1 on the tech leaders, simply because they've been so strong and also gave back the most compared to the 10-day high. That's what a tradable moment looks like. In the ETFs, you get strength in diamonds, real estate, regional banks, staples, and healthcare. A handful of auto framers. And you can see the auto framers here. There's your Microsoft 4-1, NVIDIA 2.8-1, XLK in the Qs 2.5-1. So not bad from opportunities there. Nike's on a squeeze and as an auto framer, that could be of interest. What's Nike look like? We look at the daily chart. That's what Nike looks like. So you have a 1, 2, 3 setup here. You have a higher high. You have a clear breakout above 74 on the break of the dragon. Your first target would be the PSAR flip, then this high at 79. So if this break is able to get through here and breaks above here, then you say, well, it could be going back to 95. So we take half that distance and the reversion to the Bollinger Band mean is at 85. And then what we do is we project that down and we say this could be leg one and that could be leg two as a tactical trade in which your risk is capped at about $3. And then if and only if it breaks out, do you start getting along that. So that's what the tactical trade on Nike would look like. And where does that come from? You have the max pain from the sell-off of the 10-day high and the range compression down here of the tightest little doji that you ever saw. That's the absence of panic selling. And it opened at the low of the day and closed higher. So if we even looked at that on an intraday basis, that was certainly tradable. It's got plenty of tradable moves. That's a, 10%, 70 cents. That's a full 1% move from there to there. So tradable as an SSC, tradable as a collapsing dragon. So Nike is in play for tomorrow. Being dominated by summer. There's your trading candidates. I'm liking, marijuana and Nvidia are in the wheelhouse for great tradable value. PBW is always great. Tesla is always great. 4% average daily intraday range. Amazing. Let me go back just one chart here real quick. Thing I want you to just notice is that this was a bit of a warning shot today. After this uninterrupted move higher, this is all on the wrong side. Now, the last time it did that, it didn't stay there and it gave you a nice run up. So that's another warning shot. Doesn't mean it's coming back to here, but that's a warning. So you got to be ready to play that hard in either direction. That's a critical state. Market is in a critical state right now. All right, that's everything for today. We'll get this published and posted. Take good care and see you tomorrow.